Hey everyone, we're going to do something a little different today. Instead of Lindsay cooking, it's going to be me. And I'm going to go over here and start the Instagram connection. So we're going to also, I'm using like a stand this time to kind of show you guys a little better about how we do the ingredients. And I'm going to try to watch myself on preview over here real quick, if it'll load up. All right, so today we're making ultimate cheese pizzas. So that's on this week's meal plan, the September 6th meal plan. I'm going to make the recipe on the individual plan, which serves two. And so, like I said, ultimate cheese pizzas. And all right, let me just maximize this and make sure I'm muted. Cool. All right, so what I'm going to do, what I've done here is I've actually laid out all the ingredients. So we've got almond milk, nutritional yeast, cornstarch, flour, whole wheat flour, chickpea miso, which is yellow miso essentially, onion powder, a little lemon to squeeze, and garlic powder. All right, and so that's what we're going to do. And I've just kind of pre-portioned everything out so it's nice and quick. And let me just, let me close that cabinet. It doesn't need to be open. All right, let me just get back in the stand. Camera, and all right, so here we go. Sorry for all the craziness. Let's see here. This should be nice and neat. All right, so what we got here, and I'm going to share this with Instagram folks too, because you guys jumped on, and so I'm going to show you guys the same thing. So we got the almond milk, the nutritional yeast, cornstarch, flour, chickpea miso, onion powder, garlic powder, and mustard. And there we go. All right, so I'm gonna throw that back on here. All right, and so you can see on the Facebook feed the overview. And so I'm just gonna put in the milk and nutritional yeast. You don't necessarily have to add these things in this order. It just, you can just kind of add it all at once, so it's not a big deal. Now this is the whole wheat flour. And now let me portion out the miso. So unfortunately miso is kind of like glue, so it just kind of sticks in there, so you got to kind of just knock it out with your finger. All right, so this is the onion powder. Put that in there. The garlic powder, I always like lots of garlic. And then just like a dash of the ground mustard. And I am just going to take the seed out of this, and then I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of juice in here. It calls for, I think, 1.5 teaspoons, so that was probably thereabouts. I'm not trying to measure it, but you can definitely just dump it into a measuring thing if you want. And really all I'm going to do before we put this on the stove is I'm just going to kind of whisk everything together. And you can always add a little more liquid if it makes whisking this all together easier. You can see it's clumping a little bit, but one of the things is whenever let me go stick it on here, it'll soften up much better with heat. All right, so let's get this going. Let me move my camera. All right, so now we got the camera over the stove, and so we'll just kind of keep whisking that. The miso is the big clumpy thing, so. But the miso adds a lot of the flavor, so you definitely, and you also, the miso is kind of like a little bit of a piece of salt, so you don't want a big chunk of it in your thing. So I'm gonna warm that up a little bit, and I'll just kind of talk for a second. So, so we're making pizzas today, so you can do all kinds of different ingredients, right? So I love this sriracha tofu from Trader Joe's, so that would get a nice placement on there. Black olives are my thing. Also like whole pieces of garlic. Now obviously these are uncooked, so it would be great to cook those up. We got capers, beautiful capers, Clamato olives, and then kind of like a fake veggie meat. So, and I also have, it's funny, I think it's in the microwave. The just spinning this up, trying to get this going. just kind of letting this set up a little bit. All right, so while this kind of continues to warm up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my toaster oven here. So I'm going to move the stand back over here. All right, so I kind of love toaster ovens. I think it's kind of funny now that the summer's mostly over for people. This is a way to like basically have kind of an oven without like heating your whole house up, just kind of like the pressure cooker's good. This is like a pretty intense, it uses like infrared bulbs. So it's really hot and it cooks really even. The reason I bought this particular toaster oven, I kind of poked around the internet looking for reviews and stuff, and basically I found that I really love to get my reviews from the Wire Cutter and their kind of like house companion called the Sweet Home. And so this is the one that they recommended, and you can actually go on there and kind of look at all their reviews, and I think it's just fantastic. But I eat a lot of bread products, so I use the toast and reheat thing a lot, so that's pretty cool. And so that's what we're gonna do for the pizzas today. And I got the sauces all done over here. I kind of like had that finished kind of off camera, nice and easy. And let me just get rid of this, and let me have Instagram's kind of hiding over here. Sorry, Instagram. But yeah, so there's the done sauce, and then Instagram. Here's the toaster oven. I'll kind of close that toaster oven so everybody can see it. Like I said, that's from the Panasonic, and if you are interested, check out the review on the Wire Cutter. And I'm gonna put this back down, and we're gonna make this pizza real quick. All right, so let me reverse that. Oh, sorry, this is a little fumbly. Like, this is just an experiment. I'm gonna probably try to do this a little different in the future. But so we really like these pitas from Turlock. Now, bread companies are typically very regional. So here we go. But these guys make amazing whole wheat pitas. Like, I mean, you can see the ingredients here: whole wheat flour, malted barley. And if you're curious what malted means, malted just means sprouted. I don't understand why people don't just use one phrase, but malted just means sprouted. So sprouted barley, and then flour and water, yeast and salt. So boom, there we go. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the sauce. Now, you don't have to make your own sauce. You surely can if you'd like. I'm gonna get a plate out to make this a little easier. And have our nice little plate. Put this on here. I really like the Trader Joe's organic spaghetti sauce as a step in for actual what do you call it? Pizza sauce. You can see this is a little watery, but you stick it in a toaster oven and it dries out pretty good. So I'm usually pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna do some olives. Actually, let's do the cheese sauce first. That makes sense, right? You put the cheese on first. All right, so got the cheese sauce now. Hasn't hardened up too much. And just spread some of that around generously. There we go. Lots and lots of cheese sauce. All right, beautiful. Now I'm gonna throw up some olives here. Lots of olives. And we'll also do. I'm gonna do some tofu on here. I really love my tofu. I love mushrooms as well, so we're gonna throw a mushroom on there too. And I'm just gonna chop up this little. There we go. It's kind of almost like my version of like having fake meat on here, right? Tofu, it's so good. All right, and I'm gonna put a couple of mushrooms on here too. Nothing too crazy, and that's pretty much it. You can do, a million other things. Let's do a little Italian seasoning too. Why not? So it's just kind of whatever gets you excited, right? And so that's pretty much it. Now we'll just go ahead and walk this over to the toaster oven here. And let me just do this with Instagram. So we're just gonna throw this guy in the toaster oven, and then I am going to, I got stuff all over my hands. I'm gonna do toast, Oh, I gotta turn it on first. And then I'm gonna do, actually pizza. I'm sorry, there's a pizza setting. Now, I've only done this 2 other times and it doesn't actually use the whole time, so I'm gonna actually just monitor it. You probably can take it out after about 5 minutes, so it's that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys, let me just talk back to the camera now. So kind of that's our that's the ultimate cheese pizzas on the September 6th meal plan. Really easy to make. It's really just like making the sauce. I mean, it's a handful of ingredients. Let me just show, I'm going to show you guys the miso again, because this is oftentimes something that's very daunting. People like don't know what miso looks like. So it's usually in like a little container. It almost looks like a cottage cheese container or something like that. And it's kind of got a yellowish brown color. Sometimes they're way more yellow, sometimes they're a little more brown. This is made from chickpeas, so I think that's why it's a little more like that. Sometimes you'll get yellow. It's made from rice. And the other tricky ingredient to find is nutritional yeast at Trader Joe's. If you're getting it from somewhere other than Trader Joe's, Red Star nutritional yeast is the way to go. We really don't like kind of the generic Whole Foods nutritional yeast, and it really makes, the nutritional yeast makes a huge difference in the taste of what you're eating. So really, that's something that's worth taking a little bit of time to try to get right. So you know, it's really simple. I actually think, I was going to say it was like 7 ingredients, but I think it's technically it's, let's see here, it's 7 ingredients with an optional mustard powder. And mustard powder, I mean, it's just going to kind of give you a little more of like an umami flavor to it or whatever. So yeah, and so that's pretty much it. The toast, it's kind of rocking and rolling in here. Yeah. One of the things that Lindsay suggested I talk about that a lot of people might find interesting. So I love bagels, but eating like say like the vegan cream cheeses aren't always the best. It's not always the best thing for you to be eating, because you know you're eating basically like a highly processed form of tofu, usually in something like tofutti, or you're using something that's like using a lot of like oil, like in something like Follow Your Heart or some of these other tofu like cream cheeses, imitation cream cheeses. Well, one of the things that I found that I really like as a substitute is, like, I love the bagels, but I would actually just get pizza sauce and put pizza sauce on a bagel, and that was like a great low-cal substitute for not using cream cheese. And it really, like, one of the things I realized was that, like, a lot of it was like the experience of eating the bread, and the putting the topping on top of it just kind of made it a little better. So I see Lisa ask a question if we're planning to do the diabetic meal plans. If you want to contact support, we can kind of talk to you about that, but we definitely are just going to kind of create like our individual and family meal plans. And we're kind of a small company here, so we don't really have a lot of resources to kind of like fit everybody's needs. I certainly think that probably diabetics can eat on our meal plans. I'm not going to try to attempt to answer more complex questions about that, though. Yeah, and so this thing's just kind of rocking and rolling. So yeah, one of the things I probably did not say was that yeah, the actual instructions tell you to bake for 4 to 7 minutes in an oven at 425. I don't really know what the temperature of this thing is, but that's why I'm just going to monitor it closely. And then once I dial in how long it's going to take, then I can make multiple of them. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about this recipe or any of the other recipes on the meal plan, feel free to email support@getmealplans.com. If you're not a member yet, go to www.getmealplans.com and buy the membership. And we're happy to help you with any questions about any of the recipes on this week's meal plans or the following weeks. Hope everybody has a good holiday, or everybody had a good holiday, I should say. And it's great doing this with you guys today, and take care. So, in these.